You're about to listen to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet.
Thought I'd forget. We haven't recorded we took a week off.
Yep.
Yeah, we did.
I've been waiting for it. Every day I wake up, remember to say hello.
This All Calls episode is fresh.
Super fresh.
We just recorded this yesterday.
Yeah, if you're listening
If you're listening to it
the day
on
comes-
Wednesday.
no matter what day you listen to it, we recorded it yesterday. We assure
Yeah,
you.
every time. If it's a year from now, we recorded it yesterday.
Right.
It only brewed for 4 or 5 hours.
Can you believe they elected Barack Obama again in a weird July election?
Well, I mean, Trump's the president of the military still, so, I mean, anything can happen.
It's true.
I'm on TikTok too much.
What's that have to do with TikTok?
That's
all the Trump shit I see on my TikTok all the time.
Oh,
TikTok's algorithm is frighteningly good.
or bad.
Or bad, depending
No,
on
it's
your
not pro-Trump
perspective.
shit. It's the,
Oh,
the
okay.
liberal going to
Yeah.
a Trump rally, and I'm like, oh, he's the president of the military right now. They just don't want you to know that. But he's
this
Biden's a fake actor president, but Trump is the
Well,
real president of the
I mean-
military.
Maybe. some of that sounds believable. Some of it not so much.
But yeah, all calls. We had to take a week off. We had shit going on, so we were doubling up this week. Had to do a quick Tuesday turnover. So all calls, it's good for it. We love it. It's
Yeah.
nice.
I'm not going to have anything to talk to you guys about when we come back in 2 days to record our next episode.
Same.
Unless something happens, which I kind of hope it doesn't.
I really hope it doesn't.
Like, I hope it's uneventful for us all.
Because we're recording this, and then in 2 days, there's not a lot of room.
Packing it in.
Well, we can just do a draft and take calls, or just take calls, save it all up.
I don't know. I don't care. I don't know. I don't care. Give me your love and you're not there. Oh, sorry.
I heard I heard that
me.
Electric Six song today.
Oh, did you?
The rocket ship.
The rocket ship.
Shit, let me look it up. I had never is the dramatic
Oh, the
reading
one that Tyler did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had never heard it before, and then it just showed up on my
Oh, it's
Spotify Discover playlist.
3, 2, 1, I'm the bomb.
Yeah, that one.
I'm ready to go off in your ship.
Right, that one. Yeah, ship. That's right.
It's a good song.
So I heard that. Got that going for me, which is nice.
This is nice.
It's okay. It's not my. It's not my like.
It's not.
Thing.
I have not yet. I have met one other person that likes Electric Six besides myself.
Someone on the Discord, right? So I think someone
On
said
Discord, and
something-
two if you count the guy that introduced it to me.
Okay.
So yeah,
Tastethepiss.com. Tadpog Discord.
yeah. Most people don't like it, so it's fine.
I was honestly kind of like offended that Spotify recommended it because I was like, why did you think I would like this? Is it, because you heard it. You heard
Yeah.
it through a microphone and you were like, that's a real song.
Yep.
So what do you guys want to do? Do you want to do a draft?
Sure, I definitely want to do a draft.
Yeah, we can do a draft.
Kool-Aid flavors.
Kool-Aid flavors is a good one.
I can name 3 of those. Blue,
Yeah, I might be able to get red.
red,
It's about
Red that turns into blue.
blurple.
it's about the same with me as is with Gatorade. Like I'd be like green, red,
Like that
and
white.
orange, and
Like
white.
that cum Gatorade.
TasteThePiss.com.
Let's
That's the
see.
yellow Gatorade.
Yeah.
Waifus.
or orange, depending on whether you're hydrated or not.
If you had much AZO.
All right, sorry, what we got?
Waifus.
Look,
Mario games.
We're not gonna do waifus.
Let me just mark
Let's
waifus
take that
off.
one off the list. If y'all want to talk to me about waifus, do it on the Discord.
Tastethepiss.com. Taste the piss.
Marvel heroes, presidents, Marvel villains, X-Men /Factor /Excalibur.
See, would we want to do that? Would we what would we prefer to do? Like Marvel or X-Men? Like, do we prefer it to be like subset? Because I mean, I could do plenty of X-Men.
Yeah, I could do plenty of X-Men. I think I wrote that down just to narrow it down.
Okay,
My X-Men knowledge is pretty weak.
then we would do
Like
we would
aside
wanna do
from
Marvel,
like
then.
the movies.
Yeah,
Now I could do Marvel okay.
yeah, I'm sure.
Especially if you hand me that Marvel encyclopedia over there. But I could do Marvel better than I could do just X-Men because I didn't read those comics and stuff. So
Dinners, chicken dishes,
Marvel waifus.
stand-ups, Marvel.
I would do Marvel waifus.
Donuts, sports, movie stars, serial killers, horror icons, college classes, holidays, movies, handheld games, Pokemon, potato dishes, Chinese food, cheese, robot masters, anime protagonists, anime side characters, milkshakes, books,
Milkshake.
fighting game characters, fighting games, energy drinks, franchises. Then what Phil said, pick an actor and break down his work, rank his work.
Nicolas Cage.
I think we've already covered Nick Cage as much as one could possibly cover it.
I'm good with any of those, so I'm fine. Fine with whatever. I like the Marvel one. Always kind of perks my ears, so I'd be down for that. I mean, a lot of those sounded really good.
You want to break it
Marvel.
down further to Marvel heroes and Marvel villains?
Yeah, I'm good with that too. I mean,
We could do Marvel heroes today and Marvel villains on the next episode.
Okay.
Make it a two-parter.
Okay. Works for me.
yeah, I like that.
What do you want to do first?
Want to do heroes
Let's
first?
do heroes first.
All right.
I think I could do better with heroes. Strangely enough, I would do better with DC villains than I would Marvel villains.
Why is that?
I don't know. I just
Probably is it because
I
of
think
Batman's villains?
maybe yeah.
because that's how I'm in the
Oh,
same
yeah.
boat.
and
Because like
Superman and Wonder Woman and all
Batman
of them.
villains are so good.
Yeah.
like I think Batman has like the best villains.
I had a lot more DC exposure
yeah.
when I was younger than I did Marvel. My Marvel exposure didn't come until I was in my early teens. And then it kind of, I told you I lost all my comics in that terrible Toyota Corolla trunk accident.
Right.
And then I kind of stopped thinking about comics and stuff until the MCU. So
You're probably better off. They're like just taking up an entire closet in my house, and
Yeah.
it's like, if only these had been destroyed.
it's not like the trunk was packed full. It was one box of
Yeah.
comics, but it was ones that I had painstakingly collected.
Still heartrending.
So yeah, it bothered me. But yeah, I'm better with DC than I am Marvel as far as villains goes. But we can do Marvel heroes today, and by the time our next episode rolls around, I will be ready with villains.
For a hamburger on Thursday.
Correct.
So Dave 1 and 2, Ian 3 and 4, me 5 and 6. 6, me. All right, so Marvel heroes. Who's my favorite hero in all of Marvel? Or not necessarily my favorite, but who would I draft first? Spider-Man.
It's powerful. It's big.
That's
Big swing right out the
It is
gate.
Spooder
huge
Moon.
swing. That's a obvious first pick. I would be disappointed if whoever went first didn't grab
Spider-Man, what, 616?
Okay, all right. Gonna leave Miles Morales on the table?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Fuck, man. Shit. Feel like I should snatch that up. I'm not gonna. Love Miles Morales. I wasn't a big fan of the costume at first. That had to grow on me, and it's mainly just because
Are you talking about like the hoodie and jeans the hoodie costume that he wore in the first one?
No.
Or when he became
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
But and a lot of that's just probably because of the nostalgia for Peter Parker.
Sure.
We could just do Spider-Man. You know, now we know enough
God,
variants.
man.
We could just do
We could
Spider-Man.
do Spider-Man. But I mean, I like that. I like the symbiote suit That was always like,
Yeah.
because that was like, that symbiote suit was like right around the time that I started like coming online for Spider-Man
Sure.
and stuff like that. And I remember like seeing the old classic suit, right? The red and blue from like just, you're a kid, you just kind of absorb that stuff. And I
Yeah.
remember seeing that symbiote suit for the first time and being like, what is that? And then someone being like, let me tell you about that suit because there's a lot of stuff behind that suit. And
Yeah.
then like, it becoming Venom and bonding with Eddie Brock and man,
It's good shit.
God, I love that shit.
All of the Spider-Man comics I had was Web of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And he was in the black
Yep.
suit.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
And I had Web of Spider-Man #1.
yeah, nice.
Like 1 through 20. And yeah.
I liked Web.
Web was my jam. I loved Web.
I remember getting a whole bunch of Web of Spider-Man from, I don't know what the hell it used. I don't know what Tap's auto sales used to be, but it used to be something that had comic books. And it wasn't like a comic book store. It was like we sell a bunch of shit that's not comics. Also,
we sell
we have
comics.
10 boxes of comics under the table.
Okay.
And when your mom comes to buy shit here, you can look through
You can buy
these.
some comics.
And they had old Spider-Man comics in there. And they were at various condition. They weren't great condition, but they were
Right.
cheap.
Yeah, and they're a good read.
Yeah.
Those are some good stories. I don't remember most of them. I just remember liking them a lot. All right, Dave, what's your #1?
Great pick on Spider-Man. Are we doing? I mean, is this strictly heroes? I'd like to pick Deadpool, but he is kind of an anti-hero.
I'd say Deadpool counts as a hero in this case. I
Then
think that would be a fine pick.
I'm going with it. Favorite Marvel character, also very bankable, especially thanks to Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I'd say the introduction of Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool, I think, steers him more into hero category.
I agree.
It's true.
He is still very self-serving, but
Maybe not the true iteration of Deadpool, but Deadpool in the collective consciousness, as I think, is considered more of a hero.
More of a hero. Yeah, it's probably true. I mean, he's like, in my opinion, more of a hero than the Punisher.
Yep.
for sure,
Yep.
for sure. Still a vigilante,
right.
But
Tell that to all
Definitely.
the trucks in
Mercenary.
Paducah that have the Punisher logo on the back.
boy.
Confederate
boy.
flag and the Punisher logo.
Combined in one graphic, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Right.
Yep.
honestly surprised there's not a Punisher flag flying under that fucking thing at the
The
Trader
Gadsden
Mall.
flag, Confederate flag, and the
And the
Punisher
Punisher.
flag.
But there's this great Deadpool arc from like his first true like long running series in the 90s where it's like he is trying to be a hero, and it is such a good arc because he tries to be a hero and he keeps doing the right things, and it's just a horrible experience, and it like is just so against his nature that it is not only it's very entertaining, and it's also a lot of conflict too because he's trying to not do. He's acting against his nature,
Right.
The entire arc, and it's really good. Recommend it. Ed McGuinness. It's great.
So my first pick, most of my picks are going to be kind of based on how I feel about these heroes in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Mm-hmm.
Again, because I didn't read a lot of those comics growing up. Most of the comics I read of Marvel were just Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Everything else were the Marvel offshoot, the Dark Horse comics and things of that nature. So most of my Marvel knowledge comes from the movies. And my #1 pick is going to be good old Captain America.
Captain America.
Love my boy Cap. I
a good
love
pick.
his story.
Great
I
pick.
love that his sort of story spans, the World War II era
Right.
up into the future. And
punches
the
Hitler.
present and the future. He punches Hitler right in the kisser.
Him and Captain Commando.
The
Got those two things.
Kistler.
The kisser. But yeah, I dig it. And I thought that Chris Evans did an amazing job really selling Captain America as a viable hero, and I think Captain America was always one of the most recognizable Marvel heroes, but I don't think a lot of people that kind of went into the MCU really knew much about him and I like that they were able to introduce his backstory and make him such an important part of a very lucrative movie franchise.
Yeah, it's honestly it's wild. It's wild what they were able to do with the cinematic universe and
with considerably lesser known characters.
Certainly less popular. Like Iron Man in particular was
Iron Man was another one. Yeah, exactly.
Because I don't think Iron Man is truly like before the movie. I really don't think that Iron Man was ever truly like popular. I mean, people knew who he was, but
he was written to be an asshole, like not likable, not fun anyway.
Right.
And he just we didn't get a lot of Iron Man exposure. If I was buying action figures at the store and Iron Man and Spider-Man were sitting next to each other, I'd have bought Iron Man or bought Spider-Man. But now I might consider buying Iron Man because they've established such a good. They've enhanced that lore. They brought that into the forefront and made it, again, very, very important.
Yeah, because you and I were on opposite sides of that spectrum. Because for me, Marvel was just X-Men growing up. That's it. Like, I thought the Avengers were like, who the fuck are the Avengers?
Yeah,
like,
I was also not like a big Avengers guy.
Yeah.
Really ever. I mean, really, I guess until the movies.
I really wasn't either. And I'll tell you that I knew a whole lot about Marvel lore from my friends always talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And like I understood what was going on. So most of what went on in the phase 1, 2, and 3 of Marvel wasn't a surprise. I knew what was coming most of the time because I remember having long discussions with my friends who loved to talk about it and tell me without me. So I got to get the stories from them without having to read the comics.
Right.
And so, but I didn't know much about the X-Men. And then when the movies came out, I was really into the movies, and I thought those were good movies. I particularly like the Days of Future Past style, the old one, the prequel, the young X-Men.
Right.
When they
First Class.
I did love First Class.
First Class, Days of Future Past. And
they did Darwin dirty.
There was another one. And then they did a Phoenix movie, which was terrible. But so I got, again, most of my X-Men knowledge comes from the movies.
And that whole First Class, they need to, I've said this before, people are probably tired of hearing it. They need to do that for Fantastic Four. I want a Fantastic Four movie that takes place in the fucking late 60s.
The 60s.
I want that
it
real
needs
bad.
to be groovy. And they, that Days of Future Past did take place in that groovy hippie time. I think it was that one, or was it First Class, or both?
First Class was, I think, it was around the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah.
Because it's got all that whole thing at the end.
I was thinking the Cuban Missile Crisis thing happened in the second one. I get them confused. But yes, I think Kevin Bacon was in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's First Class, because that's the only one of those that I've seen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yes, I'm with you
Because
on that.
Kevin Bacon's playing Shaw, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, he was Sebastian
Shaw.
But we need,
Hellfire Club
you're
and all
not
that.
wrong. We need a Fantastic Four origin story that takes place in the proper timeline.
Man, I don't even know if I want the origin. You know what I mean?
I could see that.
Just do it.
Throw 'em in there.
That's what they did with Spider-Man.
Right. And that's because everybody knows Spider-Man's origin. You don't need to tell it again.
Yeah.
Just like another Superman movie comes out, that's not
There's no
don't
need.
tell the story. You don't have to. We know who he
where
is.
Superman came from. Right. We know what happened with him. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Now that you say that, I do agree that approach would be ideal because we know. We know what happened.
You could do it in little flashbacks too.
Sure.
If something's necessary for the story.
Yeah.
Man.
Just as long as they don't use Jim Halpert as Mr. Fantastic again.
Yeah, I want him so bad.
I feel like he has said that his appearance is one and done.
Okay, good.
All right, fine. Martin Short then.
Perfect.
Yes. Fuck yes.
I'm over him.
And Steve Martin has the thing.
Ask Jiminy Glick. Yeah, and Steve Martin has the thing. Yes.
And then Selena Gomez is invisible.
Yes. Only Murders in the Building. Fantastic Four. We just need someone to be Thing.
No. Steve Martin's thing. We need a Johnny
Then-
Storm.
Who would
okay.
be-
Who would be Johnny Storm from Only Murders in the Building?
Oh, I was gonna throw someone completely random, man. Like Chris Rock.
Please no. I need. I do want it to be.
Steve Carell as Chris Rock is
Yes, please.
Got it.
flame on. But I'm going to follow your wavelength today and go with my favorite Marvel character ever, who started as a villain. I still think of more as an anti-hero, but I think collective consciousness skews hero of Venom.
Yeah, Venom's great. I like Venom better as a villain, but because he's so fucking scary.
I liked the Venom movie and the fact that he kind of went a little bit good.
I need to see that still. I haven't seen the movie.
First one I liked. Second one,
And the fact that they tied it into the end of Far From Home.
the end of credit, the after post credit scene of the second one was the best part of the movie.
Yeah. The whole, it was that, and it was actually, I think, maybe was it on the stinger there, or was it the stinger at the end of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness? I think it was the Doctor Strange one, because
I don't remember that one. I saw that movie, but I don't remember the stinger.
I think the stinger, because in that movie, the whole multiverse starts to converge
Right.
on our world
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever. And I think Eddie Brock from the Venom movie, Tom Hardy,
Oh yeah,
is drinking at a bar.
right. Yeah,
And he's like, I don't know how I got here, kind of thing. And then he disappears, but a tiny piece of the Venom symbiote gets left behind. So when they correct the problem, Eddie Brock disappears from the bar and goes back to his own part of the multiverse, but part of the symbiote stays behind. So they're implying that Venom is going to be in the next Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. So I think it was multiverse.
I'm trying. I remember seeing that.
No, but wait a minute. It was Spider-Man. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was the
I think
very
it- I think it was
last-
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, because that was happening in Spider-Man, not Doctor Strange. Sorry, I get.
Because I went to
they do
see
run it-
Spider-Man
they-
with the girls, and when Tom Holland
You're
is
right.
shown on the news in Venom, they went nuts.
You're right.
So.
It was at the end of the latest Spider-Man movie, but it was Doctor Strange. I was forgetting that Doctor Strange was a main character in the latest Spider-Man
Right.
movie. That's where I was getting confused. Good God. It's a long way to get there. Sorry, go
They
ahead.
all run together, man. I think that's
Yeah.
like one of the things. That's a strength and a weakness
It
of those
is.
movies,
It-
is that
it
they all
is.
run together.
The
and-
consistency is nice,
Right.
but there's a lot of it.
Uh-huh.
A lot of stuff to keep up with.
Yeah.
So,
Love Venom, man.
Yeah.
Um,
Hell yeah.
hell yeah. I gotta go Wolverine for sure.
Yep.
I mean, I fucking love Wolverine.
Great character.
Like, talk about like honest to God, like the only reason I was interested in the X-Men. And I think he was probably the gateway drug for a lot of kids to the X-Men, because it was like the character design on Wolverine is so striking and iconic that it is straight up like, even when they change his costume, they don't change it much, because they're like, still got the ear things that, even when the hat's off, his hair fucking looks like it. You know what I mean? So, like-
I feel like Wolverine and Stone Cold Steve Austin hit that same energy for a lot of people. Like if
Yes.
you like one, you love the other one too.
It's kind of like Tweety Bird and Taz. You're gonna probably have, if you like one, you're probably gonna have the T-shirt of the other too, right? Big,
Preferably
oversized-
together. Yeah.
yeah, preferably together.
and some shade of off-white.
That used to be yellow.
Yes. Yeah, Wolverine. Final answer. Love Wolverine.
I'm gonna stay on the X-Men track and pick Iceman. That's my
Iceman.
second one.
Iceman.
I love that.
Iceman was on my list.
I love that power. I always wanted that power.
He fucking wrecks House and Children of the Atom.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like he's insane in that fighting game, because like he has a beam attack that is just like it's
over.
that game is like super not balanced.
It doesn't sound like it. Yeah. But I love that power. When I watched Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, Iceman was one of the amazing friends, and I loved the concept of him sliding around and using, and he could do fun things with it. He could do fight crime things with it.
Yep.
It's a very versatile power, and it melts, so it doesn't leave a bunch of crap everywhere.
I believe he's gay now too.
Oh yeah,
I think that's the thing that they did, which
Okay.
I'm totally fine with, but I shouldn't say I'm totally fine with. I'm fine with Iceman being gay. Now, I don't know how they did it though, because I wasn't reading X-Men when it happened.
Pink kryptonite.
But I hope it was like a long process. You know what I mean? Because it's like I don't like it when any fiction all of a sudden is like, this character is like this now. There's nothing leading up to this. No precedent has been set.
There like
you couldn't have seen this coming.
Was there like a change in the universe? Did
No
they
idea. I don't know.
reboot it, or?
I don't know. I don't know anything. I just saw like
That
a
he's
headline
gay.
about it. It's like, okay, all right, he's gay now,
Okay.
or I guess he always was. He just wasn't written that.
Not in the movie, because he was flirting pretty hard with Rogue. He was putting them teen moves on her.
Teen moves. Can we rename the podcast? Teen moves.
I bet that already exists.
It probably does.
Well, building on that, what you just said about Rogue, I purchased 2 number one
Sugar?
comics in my lifetime. Sugar, one being Venom, the other being Gambit. So I will take Gambit for number
Gambit's
3.
cool.
Gambit. Yeah, man.
I love Gambits. I love that. The cards. And
Yeah.
that's really neat.
Yeah.
Dave, number 3.
Man, I got to move off these. We got I don't know. I feel
My
bad
next
like
picks
doing
are
an
not going to be
X-Men.
X-Men. So I'll try to keep breaking
No.
that up.
Because I do like the X-Men quite a bit. I'm gonna go with the Incredible Hulk.
Great pick.
And that is, I mean, I remember watching the TV show, this like the 70s TV
Yeah,
show. I
with
remember
Lou
watching that
Ferrigno.
with my dad because I liked it because it was the Hulk. My dad liked it because it was Lou Ferrigno,
Hell yeah.
bodybuilder.
Uh-huh.
So that was like a perfect like show for us. So I remember watching that with him, and then I mean, I haven't liked all of the Hulk movies, but I like his current thing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
It was a kind of a shame to me what that they kind of broke the Hulk a little bit, because there was 2 Hulk movies released not terribly far from one another,
Right.
with 2 different directors.
Yes.
The Ang Lee one was not a part of the MCU. The Edward Norton one was,
Right.
except they ended up not continuing to use Edward Norton, and they went with the right choice.
Yes. Mark Ruffalo.
With Mark Ruffalo. I think he's a
Human Buffalo.
excellent Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked Eric Bana too.
I liked Eric
Yeah.
Bana. I liked the Ang Lee Hulk movie. I did. It just the plans for the MCU weren't exactly fully underway at that point, and so they thought now's the time for Hulk, not Iron Man.
Man, that
And
Ang Lee one though, like I'll never forget a scene where like he's fighting dogs. And it's just like, man, it was a great crowd in
like
at the
Arnold
movie
style
theater.
in True Lies,
Man.
like he bopped them together,
I don't remember
bopped
exactly.
them rubber dogs together.
I wish. That's the best. That's the fucking best. I thought every movie needs a scene
Where rubber dogs
where
get bopped
Arnold
together.
Schwarzenegger shows up and smashes 2 rubber dogs
To the
together.
point where no one even questions it
Right,
anymore.
yeah.
I know. I get it. Hulk.
Incredible Hulk.
Excellent pick. For me, this is where it gets hard, because I've got a lot that I could choose from, but Thor.
Yes.
Thor is my number 3.
You know what? I never liked Thor in the comics. I never really got him, but in the MCU,
Oh,
Thor's. I
he's
love
wonderful.
Thor. He's fantastic.
He's wonderful, and those movies are great. I loved all 4 of them, even though the second one wasn't as good as the other 3. I liked it. Love and Thunder was classic,
Man, I've seen people like shitting on that movie, and I don't know
On
why.
what? Love and Thunder?
Yeah.
Or no,
I liked it.
I'm sorry. Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Was
I feel like
fucking-
Ragnarok is peak.
it's
Thor.
Ragnarok
peak
is
Thor.
great.
Yeah.
Absolutely the best, possibly in my list of maybe best MCU movies out of all of them.
Yeah.
I loved Love and Thunder.
Yeah, I did too. I thought it
it
was
was
good.
great, but I know a lot of people had problems with it. I mean, it's bound to happen. You get a fourth you get a fourth movie in the Marvel in the Marvel universe, and people are definitely going to start to nitpick.
Yeah.
Because that's rare. I think it's him, and I want to say Thor is the only one that's had four movies in the
Everyone
MCU.
else hung up the hat.
Not counting Avengers, obviously.
Right.
Yeah,
Sure.
Solo movies.
Solo movies, I think Thor was the only one that had 4. Because of Taika Waititi's making Ragnarok so goddamn excellent.
Yeah, Ragnarok.
They
is great.
had to get more of that out there because they knew people would flock to see it, and I did, and I'm glad. But Thor, particularly Thor from the MCU, Hemsworth is amazing in that role. I love Thor. So number 3.
I'm gonna keep waiting in that X-Men pool.
Sure.
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler's
Nightcrawler's
great.
awesome.
Love Nightcrawler.
What a cool power.
Not Saberto? Oh, villain. Villain. Sorry, villain.
Yeah.
Villain.
I thought. Now, correct me here. Nightcrawler was a hero.
Yep.
Okay.
Didn't look like it.
No.
Well, okay. So in the movie, though, he originally started out as not a good dude, right? Because he attacks the president.
I don't remember the movie.
He's
but
being used or blackmailed or something.
Okay.
to do
Okay.
that.
But ultimately, he's with the X-Men.
Yeah.
I barely remember those movies either because it's just been so long.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like Nightcrawler. I'll go with Cable. I like Cable a lot. I think Cable's very interesting. I remember when Cable showed up, and it was like, okay, time travel has been introduced, and then obviously it gets all fucking spaghetti from there. But yeah, man, I thought it was so cool when he showed up, and there's a Cable and Deadpool comic that had a long run that I thought was also very good. They play well off of each other.
Yeah.
Because Cable's always like deadly serious and also like on the verge of being a god, essentially.
Yeah.
And then Deadpool's Deadpool, annoying and unkillable. So,
My turn.
yes, sir.
My number 4 pick is going to be the Invisible Woman.
Okay.
I love her
Sue
character.
Storm.
I love her power. I love her ability to put up with Reed Richards' hubris.
Mm-hmm. Love Jessica Alba.
Love Jessica Alba. There's a lot to love about Invisible Woman. So we're going to take that one.
Good pick.
Character I didn't know much about until the movies. But I love his character. I love the power set. I love how different it is. Doctor Strange.
Nice.
You took my number 5. Thank you. Because I mean, it's Doctor Strange is an excellent character. And again, perfect casting. Benedict Cumberbatch in the movies was the absolute best choice to play Stephen Strange, and I'm 100% support that choice, Tyler. That was awesome.
I like him a lot. I did not love that first movie.
I loved it,
but
I thought it was great.
I didn't think it was bad, but it was also kind of one of those where it's like, okay. And then every like appearance of him since then has been like, oh yeah, that was fantastic.
Right.
Like I'm fully on board.
Sure.
I don't know. I guess it's just something. I don't know. Something about the origin. Something about the medical surgeon aspect of it, which is something I'm glad that they do not touch on ever again.
I feel I liked it, but it felt more. It didn't feel like it had as much heart as the other movies.
Probably because of the character.
And I think that's the way it is.
design.
But yeah,
Because ultimately, especially if you've watched What If,
Which I haven't. But
ultimately Stephen Strange, he possibly suffers more than anyone else in the entire MCU. And I'm not counting everyone that was like blipped away.
Oh.
But I mean, just as far as the shit that he goes through in his episode of What If is pretty fucked up. And I if you don't watch it at all, that one is a really good one to watch because of that. But I think that's the intention. I think that one was not supposed to have good feels. Mm-hmm. It was supposed to be a little. You were supposed to almost look at it from the lens of a guy who is so fucking full of himself that he can't be bothered to see what's right in front of him, even when when he's being thrown into it.
Right.
He's very stubborn and very hard to like. And I think when they make him that hard to like, it makes you appreciate him more in those subsequent appearances.
Right.
In,
Yeah,
in
totally.
the MCU.
Sure.
You walk away from the movie thinking, well, I mean, he won, I guess, but so what? You know. But I think they make up for it later. I think
Totally.
your point is excellent, is what I'm getting at. That I think that's the idea.
And it's nice. Like one thing that's nice about the Marvel Cinematic Universe is that they have character arcs and characters grow and they change.
Right.
And I understand there's got to be a starting point, but for me, it was a rough starting point.
It's also kind of hard to swallow because we've already got one asshole,
Right.
in Tony Stark,
Right.
and now we've got two alpha males that are gonna fucking be alpha males to one another, and they have to introduce
Alpha
that.
holes is what one of the book I'm listening to calls them.
It's my favorite. That's my favorite Marvel team, the Alpha Holes.
So you have to get them being real snarky and shit with one another. But that happened. That's Tony's game. That's Tony's whole deal. I mean, he gets up in Captain America's face, right? I mean, it's like it's all a bunch of toxic masculinity until they finally decide to maybe put that down and let's deal with the fucking actual threat to the universe.
Until Strange tricks him into killing himself. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, just one. That's it. Better kill yourself.
He's like, one. Sorry, I had a sneeze. I swear I wasn't chuckling.
Don't give the gauntlet to Captain Marvel or anything. Just one. just one.
You know what you have to do.
Alpha Holes is led by She-Hulk, right?
They'll name schools after you. You're up.
It's me. Is this the last pick?
Last pick.
Unless you want to go to 10.
I mean, we could if you guys want to.
I could go to 20.
I mean,
I could go to 30.
I could.
We're gonna
I could
reverse
draft
that.
those heroes in 30. Reverse. Name that tune.
I'll go with Psylocke.
Psylocke.
Always been a big fan of Psylocke. I think.
Why?
Well, I've always thought she was a very pretty woman.
Yeah.
Very leggy. I like that. Also, in all the Capcom games, they make sure to animate her like with extra frames. It seems.
Just a couple of extra frames.
Yeah, she's Captain Britain's sister.
Is that right?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Okay.
And I thought that was neat. I think her powers are pretty cool too. And I always thought that she was better than Jean Grey. so take that, Scott Summers.
Let's go to 10. We could do 10.
Okay.
We've still got plenty of time. Because I've got more. I've got more to say. My number 5 is Nick Fury.
Nick Fury.
Love me some Nick Fury.
Specifically MCU Nick Fury.
Yes.
Yeah. He's the best Nick Fury. And I love that, like, I know you're it's your turn, sorry.
Go ahead, please.
I love that Ultimate Marvel Universe Nick Fury became the MCU Nick Fury because, like, Samuel Jackson is like such a good Nick Fury.
He is. He's as good at Nick Fury as he is as Jules in Pulp Fiction. I mean, he is that guy.
Yes.
He is that guy.
Yeah.
There is no other, right?
Yeah. Oh man, I can't imagine. Like I can't imagine anyone else.
You know,
playing Nick Fury.
we have sometimes postulated who else could be, who else would we have picked for this role?
Hasselhoff.
For Nick Fury?
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
He played Nick Fury.
Was.
Didn't
He did. Yeah. Like
Oh, wait, really?
70s movie. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Shit.
I mean,
I
Nick
thought
Cage,
maybe
obviously.
Hasselhoff would be a better Red Skull than Nick Fury. But yeah, he's just kind of the man. And I watched Secret Invasion, which I think I may have mentioned on the show.
Yeah.
Which is all about Nick Fury. It's kind of the Nick Fury movie we never got, broken up into 6 or 7 episodes of a TV show.
I'd argue Captain Marvel was almost a Nick Fury movie.
Yeah.
Almost.
It was probably just almost even
Yeah.
as Nick Fury and Captain Marvel.
Because they were doing, Hulk and Thor and Ragnarok.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, there was just as much Hulk in Ragnarok as there was Thor. That movie was just as much about Hulk as it was about Thor. So yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, I'm into him. I love Nick Fury.
Yeah, man. Great pick.
I'm going with another childhood favorite that the first time I saw him in the cartoon, I was like, holy shit, who is that dude? And
Morph.
close. Morph. If Morph appears, Morph will be later on the list. I know I can get Morph on discount. Colossus.
Yeah. Colossus is good.
Love Colossus.
I love Colossus and Wolverine together. I love that fastball special. That was one of the things I always liked so much about the X-Men was like the Chrono Trigger style, like dual techs and stuff.
Yeah.
Where, like they use their powers together and like how they interact with one another. And yeah, good pick.
Kenny goes into a rage.
I'm gonna go with
I need that sound effect.
Oh, every time
Got
you go
it.
into a rage in the Scott Pilgrim, I'll play that. Yeah,
I know. I'm saying.
Oh, you
I
see it in
need
your everyday life?
No, I need it for for this edit, but I'm not going to edit the show tonight.
Oh,
I'm just
yeah,
going to publish. Raw.
I started
TADPOG
sweating.
raw.
I'm gonna go with Howard the Duck. And mainly it's because I remember seeing a titty in that movie when I was just a wee child. And I remember rewinding that. I knew I could always count on Howard the Duck
Yes.
for my titty fix.
Got that titty fix.
Just for a little bit. That's enough when you're 7 years old.
I had a really good pick for number 6, and I lost it. I didn't write it down immediately, and now I've lost what I was going to say next. Help me out here. No. See,
One of the other members of the Alpha Holes.
well, I'll go ahead and pick one that I was going to add to the list later, and then we'll just come back to it. Hopefully, I'll remember what it was. I happen to be a big fan of Hawkeye. I very much enjoy him. And again, I thought Jeremy Renner was an excellent Hawkeye. I loved his character. I love that he's kind of like sort of
Their attorney.
MCU's
Accountant.
answer to Batman, right? I mean, he doesn't have any like superpowers. He's just excellent with his weapons and stuff. And he ends up becoming the ninja.
Ronan,
thank you.
Yeah.
Leonardo.
But yeah, I'm a big fan of Hawkeye. I know he's not terribly popular, and I actually liked the series Hawkeye on Disney Plus, although I don't think it got very good reviews.
I always kind of thought, I see what you're talking about, the Batman parallel, but Tony Stark has always been the
Tony
Batman.
Stark would be the more obvious Batman, but for me, Hawkeye's skill set seems more in line
Right,
with Batman.
sure.
Like Tony's not gonna kick anyone's ass without that fucking suit on.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Hawkeye
totally.
could do that.
And also, Tony Stark's also like, I am Iron Man.
right,
You know?
right, exactly.
There's another like huge difference.
Yeah. But
But-
also Hawkeye's story is very dark.
Yeah.
Same as Batman. You know, he loses his whole family in the blip. He's going out for revenge. He becomes a vigilante for a considerable amount of time before Black Widow comes and takes him home, you know, but it was, I believe, a lot of his motivation hinged on, I think a lot of what happened with reversing the blip in the MCU hinged on Hawkeye's determination to get his family back. I think without him, they couldn't have done it. And, but I just see that as more of a darker hero with a much more sketchy past. And, you know, he's not a billionaire or anything, right? But that's just why I've always equated Hawkeye to Batman, at least as far as the MCU goes.
I totally get it.
But yes, I agree with you that Tony Stark is
And it's really just because their
Is the
superpower is
Batman.
money. That's really the only.
because of the money.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For my number 7, I'll go with one of my favorite cards I had from my card collection, Moon Knight.
Moon
Okay.
Knight.
Moon Knight.
Did you watch the show?
Bits and pieces.
I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, Artsy AJ loved it.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
I ordered that Funko Pop for her months and months in advance.
Oh, did you? That's awesome.
Dave, number 7.
Well, I asked about him super early on, and I'm kind of ashamed that I didn't pick him earlier because I do like him a lot. I'm going to go with Miles Morales. I think Miles is fantastic, mainly because it's nice to see a teenage Spider-Man again. And I think it's cool that Peter Parker like grows up and like develops and all that. But one of the things that I always like a young Spider-Man more than I like an old Spider-Man.
Okay.
I feel like they both have their place, you know.
I
So
agree,
it-
though, because he was a teenager originally. He was a
Right.
high school
yeah.
kid.
Yeah. And I think that Miles's story, I think Miles is a more interesting character than Peter is. I think that Miles has a really interesting kind of like family dynamic, and with the Prowler and all that being his uncle, and like how all that I think is really, really cool. And I feel like Peter had that kind of stuff later on, I guess, with the Osborns, you know, but it's kind of baked in for Miles.
Right.
And I think that this doesn't have anything to do with, I guess, Miles himself, but that Miles Morales Spider-Man game is so much better than Marvel's Spider-Man.
yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, and it's because in the Miles Morales Spider-Man game, they are straight up, I mean, it's essentially like, we're going to cut out a lot of this like pigeon chasing crap, and this is just going to be like a really good story, and there's not going to be a whole bunch of extra. This is like a 8 to 10 hour kind of experience deal, as opposed to like Marvel Spider-Man, which I never finished because it was, and I was talking to Josh Nance of TADPOG Sweethearts fame about this too. He never finished it either because
I heard there was a huge time difference between the two.
Yeah, and because the first one there's just a bunch of extra stuff that you don't have to do, but I mean, it's like fuck. I mean, it is kind of fun to do it.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of got burned out on it. I was like, I don't care about the story that much. I didn't think the story was that good.
Gotcha. Yeah. Is it
So,
my
yeah,
turn?
It's
your
your
turn.
turn.
I'm gonna argue in favor of this one just because I think a lot of people are gonna say he's a villain, but I personally kind of see him in the same way as you see Deadpool, Loki.
Yeah, Loki's.
I count Loki amongst the heroes. I
He's-
think he sort of surfs that gray area between, again, he's very self-serving.
Right, yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, Loki has the right idea. I think he's got a conscience, even though they would prefer.
Yeah, I mean, at
kinda
the end
illustrate
there,
him that he
MCU
didn't.
Loki was definitely, even in the series now, you know.
Yeah.
In his own TV series.
And there's season 2 that's coming, by the way, soon, I think. But it was heartbreaking when we lost Loki in the Avengers in Endgame, and it was just one of those things. It's like you find yourself really rooting for him to succeed when he started out as a really just awful fucking person, right? But he loves his brother, and he loves his father, and he loves his mother. You know what I mean? And he's a good dude. He's just sometimes got it kind of skewed.
I like Loki a lot because Loki is one of those characters where I know when Loki shows up, it's going to be fun.
It's going to be a good time.
Because you don't really know what to expect.
Chaos.
And that's the part of it. That's a
Yes,
lot of fun.
his whole spiel is chaos, right? It's introducing,
but not in a Joker kind
Like
of way.
he tricks Mephisto at one point, right?
Yeah.
Like you just never know.
Yeah. Yeah, and he gets butt fucked for that. But yes, he does trick Mephisto at one point.
But yeah, Loki's my number 7.
My number 8 will be a low-key.
Wait, I already
favorite,
picked Loki.
low-key favorite of mine. Who's, I mean, if I could have a choice of powers, his choice would be at the top, which is Forge.
Yeah, Forge
I love
is cool.
Forge. Just being able to make, and I've always liked that kind of thing. I've always happy when he made an appearance. Few and far between, but I love Forge.
Okay.
I almost said this earlier, so I'm going to go with it. Kitty Pryde. I've always liked Kitty Pryde. I think her phase ability is very cool. She always felt like She's like always a character. She's in a Weezer song. She's a Weezer lyric.
You know you've arrived when you're a Weezer lyric.
She's a member of Excalibur, which was like a comic that I never like really collected regularly, but because I didn't have that much money. It was kind of like okay, if I have any money left over, then I'll probably pick up Excalibur. But yeah, Kitty Pryde.
That's a good one. She was on my short list.
My number 8 is Rocket. Rocket the Raccoon.
I almost went with Rocket, but I haven't seen the latest Guardians
I haven't
movie.
either. I haven't seen it either, which is really out of character for me.
It super is.
I haven't been to the theater for any of the new Marvel movies since Love and Thunder, but yeah, I'm at that point once again at home. I'm about to put a foot down. If you're not going to tell me when we can sit down and watch this movie, I'm going to watch it without you.
I said whenever, Ian. You just called me.
2 times.
Oh, okay. Man, I wanted to see it, Volume 3, and we were all set.
Yet to be spoiled on this movie
Me-
in any
well,
way. I don't know anything about
Okay.
Volume 3, so don't talk about
No.
it.
Well, no,
If
I'm
you
not
know
gonna,
anything.
I do, but very little. But
Okay.
I'm not. Then never mind. There's something.
Is there something?
No, there was just we were all set on seeing it, and then something was
Oh, you
said.
told me that you brought this up before. You said that there was a part in it that was like super dark.
Yeah, Taryn on the Discord, tastethepiss.com.
That's right. It was Sharon. That's right.
She said that she had seen it, and it was the darkest Marvel movie she's seen, and that she would not recommend it to kids. And then it was at that point I was like, "Fuck! I guess I'm not going to go to the movie theater to see this because
Okay.
we were going to go as a family." And then it was like, I don't. I'm going to take that warning and not. Because Henry cried at the end of the most recent Spider-Man movie. Like that was rough
did
on him.
too.
Yeah. But I mean, like, if it's
But if it's like
darker than that, which I'm
upsetting.
sure that it is, because
Yeah.
I felt like at the end of Spider-Man was just like typical movie fare.
that's emotional.
Right?
That's emotional trauma.
Right.
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
But this could be more like
Trauma.
trauma.
Right.
Yeah. Not trauma.
Trauma.
Trauma. No. Trauma. Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry, Sergeant Kabuki Man.
You're up, Tyler.
Somebody whose powers I always thought were cool, even though they're more associated as a pair. I'm going to say Cloak.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cloak is cool. You can't have Cloak without Dagger, though.
Yeah.
Although they did that for a minute. And that's interesting because I put Cloak in that same like category as Moon Knight.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with Daredevil.
Great pick.
Yeah,
Excellent pick.
go with Daredevil. I think Daredevil's great. Clear and away, Lord Dennis's favorite Marvel character. We've talked about Daredevil quite a bit, and I like that he is also unofficially part of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles canon.
Oh,
Yep.
really?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's essentially why they were created, because why that ooze is the same canister essentially.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
And also the reason that the Ninja Turtles fight the Foot Clan is because Daredevil fights the Hand.
I love it.
So yeah, parodies all the way down.
Yeah.
That's funny. I had no idea about any of that stuff. That's really neat. My next pick, number 9, is Black Widow. Love me some Black Widow. I love her backstory too. I love that, trained to be a spy from young age, and just I actually really liked the Black Widow movie.
I haven't seen that
A
one.
lot of people, I think, kind of panned it, but I thought it was really good.
I'm glad to hear that.
I think Scarlett Johansson was again an excellent pick for that role, and I love the way she played it. I love the way they wrote her character. It was a good. She's definitely in my top 10 for sure.
My last pick, we've all mentioned her. We've talked about her. I like characters whose powers have unintended effects, good and bad. So I'll go Rogue for number 10.
Yeah, Rogue's good.
Now, what is the good part of Rogue's power? I never really quite got Rogue because I didn't read the comics. I only saw her in the movies. I never really got what her deal was. I know what happens if someone touches her; she sucks the life force out of them. But what else is there to that? Where's the depth beyond that?
I mean, there's the struggle of never being able to touch anybody.
Is it just the personal struggle and the
Pretty much.
personal
she's-
bond she has with the other X-Men
And like
mutants?
the bad blood that it creates, because I mean, like the whole reason she can fly is because she stole Miss Marvel's flight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, her power is just
just
the
the-
absorption.
So she
Right.
can absorb power?
Yeah.
Oh, see,
When she takes your life force, she takes your powers as well.
Oh, okay.
And when it's when it's someone who doesn't have a power, that's when it's like
it's just
super
life
bad.
force. Yeah,
'Cause, like,
okay,
yeah.
because they can't take it. Okay. I just never really got much more than that from what I know about Rogue. I just had very limited information.
Sure,
Whereas
yeah.
I've never thought to ask the question, so that's good to know.
You know, she can inadvertently trauma bond in that way by understanding what mental stress and emotion people have been through, because she takes all that on
takes
as
that
well.
on, okay.
Her and Archangel had kind of a certain
Yes.
bond because she was the only one. When she touched him, she's the only one who also felt what he went through and the whole
yeah,
process.
Angel's such a
and-
great character
Angel's
too.
a fucking good character. I know about that one. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, thanks for clarifying. Last one.
Oh man.
There's somebody, I don't know, you might just not be thinking of him. So I'm going to throw him out there if you want to pick him, because I know afterward, if I said it, you'd be like, God damn it. Multiple Man.
I do love Multiple Man.
Because I know, like,
That'd be my power that I would want.
Oh, okay.
I don't know that I would draft Multiple Man.
gotcha.
But I did forget about him. you are right. Yeah, I think the power to multiply and like replicate yourself. I think that's a really cool power.
Because you damn near broke Ramon's Mutants and Masterminds game playing.
And that's on the fault of Mutants and Masterminds.
Yeah.
That's because like that came out and it was like, oh, so like I've seen Naruto, so I'm sorry, I've seen Naruto, which is absolutely
Like
how I
you.
pronounced it at the time. So I will just kind of make that where it's like I make these multiples, and then if I die, I just body swap with one of the multiples, which is a power in that game. It's a tabletop game.
I gathered that.
It's it's crazy broken what you can do, because it's like you can not only do that, but you can like the way the fight mechanics work. It's like okay, well, I'm very bad at fighting, but there's 20 of me. So I'm just gonna, all 20 of us are gonna get that guy. And it's like, well,
Does each one of
half of
your-
you are gonna die. I don't care.
Does each one of your clones? Does each one of your clones get a turn?
No,
Or do you act as
you
one
act as
unit?
you act as a group.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was
With like plus 10.
it was yeah. That's how it worked.
Yeah,
I mean, it was
okay.
essentially like getting assistance from like every
Gotcha.
single one of them. So it's like, okay, my fighting's 2, but I'm attacking with a plus 20. And there were definitely times where Ramon was like, fuck you.
Between you and then he who shall not be named had like essentially domino, just
Right.
super luck.
Right.
Like the super ability was like to be able to overturn the GM's decision.
Right. Which
Like-
is, yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that game is fucking wild. There's another system that I can't remember the name of it right now, but there's another superhero system that people have said is a lot more balanced, but also like super in depth. Like, I mean, like, because Mutants and Masterminds, you can make a character essentially pretty quick. And you could make a character and then play the game in the same night, kind of deal. But this other one, God, I wish I could remember it. That people are like, no, you're gonna like be. You're gonna spend a long time making a character.
Okay. I like that.
I mean, I guess it sounds neat, right? But like making a character is probably the fun part of it. Like
Yeah.
playing that game. Anything that's like super complicated like that, where
That's
it's
why,
like,
yeah, Shadowrun. Like I want to run a Shadowrun game, but I
Dude.
also don't want to run a Shadowrun.
I don't
game.
know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know that I want to play a Shadowrun game.
Yeah.
You know, I've been playing a Cyberpunk Red game, and it's too complicated. Like, you know, I liked the game, and I liked the people I'm playing with, and I liked my character, but I mean, it was just like, this game is too complicated. Like, this is like the kind of game that like you need to like this is your game. You know what I mean?
I mean, I had to listen to a
pod.
podcast just to try and grasp everything going on in Shadowrun.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I like the lore of Shadowrun. Shadowrun's essentially cyberpunk, but like mixed with, you know, Forgotten Realms, pretty
Yeah.
much, like elves and which I love. I love all that. I'd be interested in playing a game in the Shadowrun universe, but
just
with a different system.
an easier rule set. Yeah.
So anyway, sorry.
Number 10.
Number 10. I'm gonna go with Storm.
I almost said Storm as well.
Yeah, I like Storm a lot. I like Mohawk Storm. She's my preferred Storm. I thought she looked fucking awesome.
About Vampire Storm when Dracula bites her.
I don't like any of the Dracula stuff. In fact, I think I've said this. I think I've said this on the show before. But when they like did the new X-Men series, I guess like the comic series, maybe in, I don't know, 2008 or something, I was like, oh man. And I was collecting comics at the time, and I was like, fuck, maybe I'll start reading this new X-Men. And like the very first arc was like with Dracula, which people have said is really good. I didn't give it a chance though because it's fucking Dracula. And I don't want that. I don't want your life.
I don't want your life.
I don't want it. So yeah, Storm, Mohawk Storm.
Is it like, because the recent lore I've read about her is that maybe she's not a mutant, she is just an actual goddess.
I don't know. I have heard that as well.
Because people,
but I don't know
people
what-
prayed to her in like a fight with Doom, and she got exponentially more powerful.
Right. Yeah. Which I don't know. I mean, that's a really good question. I've heard that, but I don't know what canon is. I've super fallen off. Like
Oh God,
any
yeah.
like any comic stuff. Yeah, super fallen off.
Ian, number 10.
Scarlet Witch.
Mm-hmm.
I love my Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch is awesome.
I love the character. I love her power. I love how ridiculously powerful she is. It's
No more mutants.
it's just
House of M.
yeah, it's crazy powerful. This woman, and
What about Quicksilver? Pretty cool too, right?
Another alpha hole.
Yeah, for sure. Quicksilver's an alpha hole.
but yeah, I've really enjoyed that character. I really enjoyed her arc.
Yeah.
her whole story arc was good. She was good. It's, you know, she starts as bad, good, bad, good.
Yeah,
You know, and it
no,
just
it's just
keeps-
great.
And it, again, it's a very recurring theme in a lot of these characters, but particularly the ones I like, are that they're very self-serving. They're very motivated by their own personal trauma and their personal problems, and sometimes they got to fuck with everyone else in the process of healing through that or coming to terms with it. And she is the epitome of that shit happening. I mean, she literally took over an entire city,
I know.
or town, for her own benefit.
And I think she's with
As a
in
coping
Doctor Strange. I mean, like all of that is
that
fantastic.
is so good.
4.
Huh?
She just said fantastic, so I had to say 4.
Oh, I thought you said Thor.
I did too. Yeah, that was really good shit in Doctor Strange in Multiverse.
Yeah.
And I didn't see it coming. I didn't have it spoiled for me, and so it was a really crazy surprise. Like I remember at one point when we were watching the movie saying aloud, "Oh no,
yeah.
she's gonna go nuts.
Yeah.
She's about to lose her shit." And
And it's fun to see.
moreover,
I mean,
she never got her shit back. Like
Right.
she was still just as pissed off in Doctor Strange. We had gotten the impression, quote unquote, that it was over, that she was good, and she had come to grips, and she absolutely had not, to the nth degree had not.
Right.
So again, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was just as much a Scarlet Witch movie
Oh yeah,
as it
for
was
sure.
a Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah, totally.
Which I love that shit.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
when
Yeah,
they
yeah.
do that.
Yeah, yeah.
You're getting
Same.
twice. You're getting twice the
Yep.
story.
Yep, yep. And they're
All-
developing two characters simultaneously, and I think that like everything that like they did with Scarlet Witch and in that movie specifically,
Yeah.
was fantastic. And I like that you know you've mentioned like you like the characters, the self-serving characters.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very interesting thing because what makes that super interesting a character trait for these characters are that they're heroes. And it's like by the definition of hero, they're performing selfless acts.
Right.
So it's this like dichotomy of like, you know, doing these selfless things, but also wanting
benefiting.
and yeah,
from it
yeah,
as
and,
well.
right, exactly, and wanting these things that they can't have,
Right,
and what
exactly.
that does to a character, and I think that's cool. That's like a defining,
absolutely.
that's like a defining moment for any character.
I've talked ad nauseum on this show about the MCU and about what they did with it, and I just think the Avengers shook something loose in me. It was a real. The MCU really gave me that desire to better understand their stories and to get really into the lore, and it was with these seemingly minor characters that they
Yeah.
just turned into these mega superstars that everyone can now name. You know, whereas we said earlier, Iron Man wasn't a big deal. No one really gave a fuck about Iron Man.
Drax,
Drax, exactly.
Yeah, Groot.
Rocket, even.
Rocket, yeah.
Fucking,
Yeah.
All the Guardians.
All the
I mean,
Guardians.
yeah.
Fuck, I knew nothing about Guardians of the Galaxy
I didn't-
until I
I didn't
saw the
either. I
movie.
knew they
and I
existed.
thought,
That's it.
when I first saw the first Guardians movie, I was like, holy shit, this is good.
yeah, dude, I was showing everybody that movie.
Yeah.
that because I my mom was over one night. I was like, "Have you seen Guardians of the Galaxy?" She's like, "What is that?" I was like, "Let's watch it. You'll like it. You'll like it. Let's
Yeah.
watch it."
It's got a raccoon in it. You'll like it.
Yeah.
It had a whole lot. There's just a lot to love about it, and I think it's. I hope we see another good renaissance, another good arc for the MCU. I have a feeling we're not going to get that anytime soon under the current circumstances of the writer's strike and the actor's strike, and the fact that their plans for the MCU in general were kind of like.
That's why I
Askew.
like the writer's strike in that give us a break. Give us a break.
I do agree
Let
that
us
we
miss
need it. I do agree that
Yeah.
we need it, and I don't think we're done. And I think what they're trying to do, I feel like what they accomplished with the MCU was a one-time success story that can never be repeated again. But I think that's what they're trying to do. They've tried it with the Eternals, which was fine, but it's not on everyone's lips. No one remembers it. Most people didn't even go see it.
I didn't see it.
It's supposed to be very important to the overall story arc, getting into phase 5, 6, and 7. But nobody's seeing the movies that they're putting out because they have spent their load. They have got everybody marveled to death. And
Well, and
I think they need to chill. I agree with you.
They
Tyler.
tied such a great bow on it.
They really
I mean,
did.
Yeah.
It was
Like
so
they
satisfying.
They wrapped it all up, and I like for real. I was like, I had this feeling where it's like, oh, okay, I guess I'm done
For the most
And then they
part-
started doing the TV stuff, and
which I did like a lot of.
Right, and-
every bit of the TV.
and a lot of people did, but I would rather see a movie. So to me, it was one of those things where it's like, oh, well, they wrapped it up, and now they're doing TV shows. So I guess it's not like a conscious effort where it's like I'm done, but it was just one of those things where it's just like, okay.
Well,
you
and I
know,
mean, we've got
I'll watch
we
some.
got a really good, albeit in my opinion, the weakest Tom Holland Spider-Man movie since then, which was fine. It was good, and we got
liked it.
we got a weakish but okay Ant-Man, Quantumania,
Yeah, I
which
didn't
was
see that
it
one.
was fine. I liked it. Okay. But there was just nothing hitting. Nothing's hit. Multiverse of Madness was probably my and Love
I
and
loved
Thunder.
it. I wish I'd have seen Madness in
absolutely.
the theater.
I was going to say it was easily.
I loved it, man.
It
I
was
loved
super strong.
that one. I watched that and I was like, okay, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I want
Maybe
more,
we're back.
more of that.
If
I
they
want more
can
of that.
continue down that road,
It wasn't
I
like
think they'll pull it off, and they could do it again, but they've got to be careful not to overdo it because they're real close.
yeah.
To saturating it. It's been saturated. They're close to oversaturating at this point, and I don't know if what they have planned coming forward is going to be successful or not. I'll be a part of it. I'm going to watch them all. They've got me hooked, but I might be a little more critical of things like that going forward, just because it's going to be real hard to top what they fucking pulled off with the Avengers.
Yeah.
It's going to be real fucking hard to top that. Those are movies that I could watch
Dude.
right fucking now.
Yeah.
I would watch 1 through 4 right now without any problem, except it would be like, day after tomorrow before I finish.
Sure.
But-
that first movie, which I don't even think is the best, but like I remember seeing it in the theater and being like, "Holy shit!"
Uh-oh.
Like,
Uh-oh.
holy
They've
shit!
done
This might be a
something here.
thing.
Oh, I was all 100,000% in it. That I mean,
I think
I was very, very on board with the MCU, and then once it was all tied up, it was. It just
said
felt like
they
it was
just
over.
did so
Yeah.
well, and for a movie to have such a massive impact, and I refer to Endgame, and I remember when we were all locked down. I remember when COVID hit, and one of the best and most watched videos that was put out was when someone had taken a smartphone into Endgame several years earlier, and had it running and pointed at the screen on a big, fully packed opening night screening of Avengers Endgame, and the final scene where they're having the fight with Thanos, and Captain America's getting his ass kicked, and he says, "Avengers Assemble." The fucking audience in that theater lost their shit, and it makes me smile.
Yeah.
Thinking about that energy,
Yeah.
and that hype, and that joy that people were feeling and they pulled that shit off in modern times, where people now are so jaded and so oversaturated with movies and content everywhere you look. For them to still be able to draw people in and get them that fucking worked up, it was beautiful. And
Yeah, man.
it's going to be just next to impossible to hit that note again, but they won me over forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, good shit. I really enjoyed that draft. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad we did that.
You
one.
just saying Scarlet Witch reminded me. I saw it on TikTok. Somebody was making fun of an old Scarlet Witch comic, where they actually showed a depiction of her kids, like back in the comics.
I think I know what you're.
The artist had no idea how to draw kids.
They look like small adults.
It looks like two hairless Irish Danny DeVitos in a bathtub.
Yes. Oh, yes. I do. I have seen that. That is funny.
It's like, this is what she wanted to say.
I do want to take a little break before we get into all calls, but I do have a very quick
Honorable mentions. Yeah, let's
list.
do it.
I'm going to zip through it. Vision, because Scarlet Witch. I mean, come on, give me Vision. I'm going to pick Iron Man as an honorable mention because, it's Iron Man. He's very important. Cyclops, I like the guy. He's a dick, but I like him.
Yeah, Cyclops was on mine as well.
I like Professor X. I
Man,
think he's a little bit misguided, but I like Professor
I like
X.
Professor X. I thought about choosing Professor X, but then I was like, I don't know, man. Sometimes I really don't agree with him.
No, absolutely. That's the
Yeah,
idea.
right,
You're not
right,
supposed
right.
to. And I think Patrick Stewart was the perfect choice for Professor X. I did not like James McAvoy as young Professor X in the prequel,
The First Class.
the First Class movies. I did not like him. But anyway, and my final honorable mention is Captain Marvel. Love Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Love those powerful ladies. I got a lot of ladies on my list.
Beast. Love Beast.
Oh, Beast
Yeah.
is good.
Havoc.
I love
Yeah,
that
man, I love Havoc.
I love that
but
they
he's
got Kelsey
he's a
Grammer to
villain.
play
I mean,
these.
like through and through.
Oh, yeah. See, I don't know
Yeah.
as much about him.
The guy that played Young Beast was the main character in one of the main
Renfeld.
characters in the movie The Menu that I've mentioned on here. Which I am now requiring everyone to watch The Menu. I've seen it a couple of more times, and especially those of you that have ever worked in the service industry, I recommend it. I do. I want y'all to watch The Menu so we can maybe do a Patreon about it.
Shit.
It's a great movie.
Sounds good to me.
It gets better every single time I see it. To quote Beetlejuice. Get ready. Oh, yes. Some more honorable mentions, please.
Bishop. I was really close to choosing
Which
Bishop.
one is Bishop?
Bishop is awesome. Bishop is
The only person who could touch Rogue.
another.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Another.
What is Bishop's power?
He's from the future. He came back, and like his big thing was he kicked off the storyline where one of you will betray the X-Men. So like he's accusing.
It's like where the show The Mole got its idea. One of you will betray.
Yes.
One of you will betray the group.
Clearly,
one
yes.
of you is the mole.
Right. But his so that was cool. But I also loved his power, which his power was he could just absorb energy and then channel that energy through his body. So
Okay.
like a down power line, he could like grab the down power line.
Sort of like Electro in the villain Electro in Spider-Man.
Well, it didn't. It wasn't. It could be anything. It could be any energy.
Okay. Not electricity necessarily.
Someone could punch him, and then his body would
like
absorb
Black
that
Panther
energy,
style.
and then he could channel that energy out in like a blast.
By
or
the
something
way,
like that.
fucking Black
Black Panther.
should have been number 1 on my list.
Namor.
Namor.
First mutant.
Fuck. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I would like to apologize to everyone for not saying Black Panther before now because holy Lord, I love Black Panther. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Honestly, I loved the movie Black Panther because Killmonger is like, honestly, I think one of the best villains that the MCU has ever had.
You know what bothers me about Killmonger?
I think we might have talked about this.
Have we?
I think so.
have. First of all, those things on his skin. bug
Yeah.
the shit out of me. I hate those things. But that's neither here nor there. I got a love-hate relationship with Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't like. I am not going to finish that sentence because I don't want to. I'm not going to be able to articulate what I want to say without sounding like a prick.
Okay.
And I don't want to do that because I had nothing but respect for it. And you're not wrong.
Oh, I think
Killmonger was a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
And he did a great job.
He was
of
modeled
making
Vegeta. Hell yeah.
Well, he was one of
He
those
made
characters.
me hate Killmonger.
Yeah, totally.
Like he was
Yeah.
too good at it. That's what my statement is that Michael B. Jordan was too good at being Killmonger because I legitimately started maybe disliking Michael B. Jordan at
It's like
the time
Joffrey.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because of that.
Yeah.
And
My parents
but
are like that.
I
It's
watched,
big-
but then I turn around and watch Creed, and I'm like, God, I love that guy.
my parents.
He's too sexy.
just-
Get him out of here.
Why won't he call me back?
My parents are mad at Tom Hanks because he played the Colonel.
Oh, I get that. I'm mad at Tom Hanks for playing the Colonel.
I think it's hilarious
I
because
hated
I don't
that.
like.
I hated that.
that never happens.
Oh
to me.
God,
I'm
that
always,
is that is a perfect example of what I'm talking. I
know,
I was so mad that Tom Hanks played that role because I hated it because he did too good of a job.
Yeah, but that's a good thing.
Good thing, but it sucks because I don't want to see this guy in that light. I guess
I'm
is
mad
my
at him
point.
for his haircut in the Da Vinci Code or whatever.
That's okay. That tracks.
But yeah, man, I thought every time Killmonger was on the screen in Black Panther, it was like, here we go.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Joker, like Heath Ledger's Joker, where every time he was on the screen, it was like, all right, what's he gonna do?
You're absolutely right. But I've always liked the Joker.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like I just wanted him to do it exactly the way he did it, and I loved him more for it. It's the weirdest thing how that happens. But anyway, I'm so sorry I interrupted your honorable mentions with my Black Panther talk.
That's okay. No. I'm sorry I ruined your Black Panther party.
It's okay. No.
Sasquatch.
Don't say that I had a Black Panther party.
It's just a Forrest Gump thing. I didn't say it, with the right inflection.
I know.
I like all the Alpha Flight. Not to be confused with Alpha Holes. Sasquatch, Puck, all of Wolverine's B crew.
Okay.
Canada's,
all right.
Canada's Avengers.
What was X-Force a thing?
Yes, X-Force
That was
a thing.
Deadpool's group, right?
Well, there was Uncanny X-Force, which fucking ruled because Uncanny X-Force was awesome because it was Deadpool, Wolverine, Psylocke, and oh fuck, I can't remember who else it was. But damn it! But those are the three that you need, because that alone, where it's fuck, man, this is rad.
So from a Deadpool standpoint,
I think it was Angel.
one of the best scenes in a movie, a superhero movie, was in Deadpool 2 when they all jump out of the plane.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. I thought I was going to die laughing. And the invisible dude is Brad Pitt, and he's literally on screen for a split
He
second.
did that cameo for a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
I think.
And I love it. I love that they did that. That was the funniest fucking thing. They were playing Thunderstruck while it was going on, AC/DC Thunderstruck. Great shit.
Who was the member?
It was Angel.
Angel.
Yeah, and Phantom X.
I don't even know who that is.
The character, he existed before Uncanny X-Force, but I had no idea who he was or anything like that. So
Cool. All right, gang. We got about an hour before we plan on wrapping up.
'Kay.
So let's take a quick break. We'll do some calls, and then we'll tell everybody goodbye until next week's show.
okay.
Stand by.
There's new action in the universe from Marvel Superheroes.
Spider-Man! Dr. Octopus! I'll bet Dr. Octopus would have Captain America. No time, Hawk. My shield will cut him down to size. Meet your doom, America.
But Captain America's Turbo Coupe has a surprise for Dr. Doom.
He's all yours, Spidey.
Action figures and Captain America Turbo Coupe, each sold separately from Toy Biz.
And now for the call.
The calls.
Calls.
The calls.
Calls.
Just, do you want me to start playing calls?
Sure.
Okay, so much has been said. I don't even remember all of it, which I can comment on, but I'm going to try. One, can Gage be my benefactor? He's making a ton of money, and he can just pay off all my bills. Mostly joking. Two,
That did not age well.
Clone Wars is super slow. I still watch it, but after months of not watching it, then I'll watch a couple of episodes and then not watch it. Boba Fett is amazing.
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
Amazing. The people on the internet who hate it, I have no idea what's wrong with them. Then again, I probably like garbage because I like all four Matrix movies. And people say that that's not good. I also like Twilight. So, there's that.
You also
But I
like
think it's
Tadpog.
amazing.
Yeah, it's like no accounting for taste here, really.
The people on the internet are just wrong and dumb and there was more, so there'll probably be another call. But you've got a lot of calls from me as always. So I'll try to speak.
That did
now.
age well.
But I can't think of those things, so I'll call back.
Okay.
Because you know I will.
I don't believe her.
Okay, bye.
Nah. Probably not going to happen.
And it's okay that you like Twilight.
And it's okay that you like all four Matrix movies.
It's okay. Whatever you like is fine.
Yeah.
We all know this.
It's nice to like things.
I love liking.
It's nicer to like things than to not like them.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, I don't like all four Matrix movies. I wish I did.
I don't either, but that's not her problem.
Right. That's 100% correct.
I am not judging her for liking them.
Yeah.
I am just merely stating a
Yeah.
fact.
Right.
I'm glad you like what you like. And feel free to talk as much about those things as you want. Okay, we've got another call here.
Okay.
Next.
from a mystery caller,
Okay.
April 26, 2022.
Famous date.
Came in 30 seconds after the call we just played.
Okay.
Okay, I remember what
Oh.
I was going to say. Actually, I just scrolled back in your episode to figure out what I was going to say. California, obviously, super expensive.
Knows
Get
how
that.
to party.
100%. We went to Kentucky and rented a car. It was super cheap. We were like, whoa, dude, this is amazing. But your food is expensive as hell. Jesus, 2 people, McDonald's, $20? No, that's like $10 for us. Like, what in the earth?
I am mad now to find out that it's cheaper to eat at McDonald's in California than it is to eat at McDonald's in Paducah.
No, I didn't eat at McDonald's when I was in California, but I could tell you.
You think 2 people could eat for $10?
It was really, really fucking expensive. Like, I mean, it was crazy expensive for me. Like I said, I didn't go to McDonald's, but I mean, it was like, even like in the mall, like the food court, it was like, God damn. Like, fuck. All right. I mean, I got to eat.
Yep.
But yeah, I thought it was really expensive. I mean, I think it's expensive here too. I mean, like McDonald's and shit here is expensive.
Yeah.
Wendy's is like the worst fucking offender.
Wendy's and Hardee's.
Subway.
Wendy's and Subway. And
Subway's
Wendy's
bad
and
now?
Hardee's.
Footlong Subway's meal is $14.
$40.
It's getting there.
I ran through Arby's tonight on my way here. I just got a basic ass double roast beef.
I hope that's what they call it.
It is. They're really trying to edge out.
Yeah. They're doing good.
Yeah. I got a double roast beef, a fry, and a Coke, and it was like $12.
Jeez. Yeah,
It's
man.
Too much.
Too much.
Too much.
Too much.
I don't know. I didn't go into Burger King.
Earth, you live in the farm country. The cows are where you are. Why is your food so
They don't
expensive?
use
I
our
don't
cows for the
understand.
McDonald's here.
Also,
Nope.
fun fact, people are still feeling the effects of the fallout from Chernobyl. Even as far out as Germany, the soil is fucked up if you live too close or wherever the radius is.
This is
from I don't know how big the radius is, but there was a guy that we got in who was shipped in from Germany, and he lived in Germany for a long time, but he's, living there, drinking the water, whatever, doing the thing, living his life, and
Watching The Matrix.
he died of kidney problems, and it's because of it's part of the problem of the fallout from Chernobyl is still in the soil, still in the water, still in everything, even as far out as Germany, which is far. I mean, it's not like Maine to California, but it's still pretty far. So, yeah, that's something interesting that I learned, and I thought I'd share because why not? All right. Okay. Bye.
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 I just realized that I'm still in the food and the cost. That's probably Louisville prices. So that's another potential factor. And I don't know how Louisville McDonald's compares to like Paducah.
That's
McDonald's,
true. She was
price-wise.
talking. I wasn't thinking about that, but you're right. She was talking about Louisville. 'Cause
Yeah, I think
that's where
it's-
she went.
because everything's more expensive in the city. The food in California, I mean, while expensive, that fucking Mexican food in California was the best. I mean, it was the best. And I know he who shall not be named, his in-laws were from New Mexico. And I remember them when they came here and we had like Los Amigos or something, they were like turning their nose up at it. And at the time, I remember thinking, but I don't know.
Now you get
I can
it.
see like if you're like surrounded by that really good Mexican
If
food,
that's
like,
all you
all
know,
the time,
and then you get what we
yeah.
have,
Which I mean, I still don't think it's bad.
I like it.
But I mean,
eat there
what
fairly regularly.
But what I had, what the California was, I mean, it's really, really fucking good. Like it was like, I remember eating it and being like, "Oh fuck, this is spicy." They didn't even say anything about that because usually like if I get the like spicy shrimp or whatever here, they're like, "Are you sure?" No, here it was like all of it was spicy, and like everybody else with me is like, "Fuck, man, this is spicy," and it's like, "Yeah, it's fucking great.
That's how it should be. Yeah.
This is fantastic."
Ready for more?
Please, sir, may I have another?
Okay, so more stuff, because I always have more. To the people who hate that, I guess I'm sorry. Anyway.
Doesn't sound like it.
I liked the original three. No, sorry. Oh, I definitely love the
Or
original three
Matrix.
Star Wars movies, but I like the prequels as well. I didn't know they were bad until somebody pointed it out to me. So, again, hot garbage, apparently I like. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I see the writings, and I see the thing about the midichlorians. One, here's my thing. I forget if I've said this to you guys on the voicemail before, or if you're going to hear this in the same episode 20 calls apart. I don't know.
Yeah.
All I know is that my take on it is that Qui-Gon Jinn is like, because the Force is a religion, right? You believe in the Force. Okay?
It moves
So
us.
my take
Binds
on
us.
that is that Qui-Gon Jinn is one of those guys that, like, believes in his religion but wants to see the scientific part of it and find the scientific background for it. So he's all like, people who have the Force have a high midichlorian count, so that must be where the Force comes from, and that's how it works. Like, God put those midichlorians in you, and you have the Force. Jango Fett does not have the Force, and neither does Boba Fett. So the clones would not be Force sensitive because neither of them have the Force. So they wouldn't have midichlorians because not everybody is Force sensitive like Han Solo. So, yeah. Okay, bye.
So my theory on the midichlorians is I think that it was, I have no evidence on this. None, but I think it was supposed to be a bigger thing than it was. And honestly, I think the thing it was going to be used for was a device to determine who was Force sensitive and who was not in the Clone Wars. That's what I think it existed for.
I don't have a problem. I remember getting into this discussion. Initially, was kind of put off by the whole concept of a midichlorian or whatever.
It rubbed me the wrong way
But
immediately.
I do get it. I understand. We don't necessarily need to quantify it. It's fine to just have people be Force sensitive, and we don't know why. And if you feel like if you felt the need to quantify it, that's fine. Go ahead.
Well, and it's also, but it's one of
It
those.
makes scientific sense,
It
but
does.
it's not necessary.
Right. But the other thing about it is, like, what sucks the most about it is that it is a prequel. And it's one of those things where I was talking about Iceman earlier. I wouldn't have a problem with midichlorians if
it
like
had-
they had mentioned it in the original movies.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Because then it's like, oh, this is a thing that's established. But when
Now
it's just
it feels like we're overthinking it.
Right.
Now we're trying to explain something that we didn't need an explanation
Right.
for in the first place.
and when that story takes place before the original movies, it's like,
Yeah.
God damn it! If this was such a big deal, we would know about
right.
it.
Nope, I get it.
So I don't know. I don't think the prequels are that bad.
They're fine.
I don't think they're that bad.
I thought Phantom Menace was good.
I think Phantom Menace is pretty okay movie.
The only thing I have two major complaints about the prequels. One was the whole courtship of Padme.
Yeah.
That was the cringiest thing I've ever seen
That
in my
groomer?
life.
Yeah.
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 And the Darth Vader scream at the end.
Oh, Jesus
God, it was
Christ.
so
Do
bad.
not want.
Yeah, it was so bad. It was so
Yeah.
out of character. All we had to do was see his rage through silence and heavy breathing. That is how Vader operated.
Or just have someone there for him to kill.
Yeah, just anything.
I mean, that's how he shows his emotions.
Anything but that would have been fine. So, anyway, thank you for calling, Michelle. That was an interesting point. I just wish she would call back.
What do you mean?
I don't feel like we get enough calls from Michelle.
You don't?
Well, let's see who calls
We'll have
next.
to hope.
Okay.
A new hope.
Yay, you don't have to apologize
Hey.
for killing South Park. It's okay. It's okay. I say this as a person who does not like South Park, so probably more okay. But I mean, you have the right to feel how you want to feel. And basically, I would probably kill all three. I've never actually seen BoJack Horseman. It's just that there's an anthropomorphic horse.
This was a marry, fuck, kill where I can't remember which of us chose to kill South Park.
Okay.
And BoJack Horseman was in there.
Okay.
And the other one I don't remember. Well, maybe she'll mention it.
Okay.
And not like My Little Pony, but like an upright talking horse, like those people that were the horse heads for a while that thought it was funny, and I thought it was creepy and stuff. And then, so I don't know if BoJack Horseman is awesome or not, because I don't trust it. South Park, very, 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 very rarely funny to me. I can equate it to Kanye West in that sometimes it's funny or sometimes
Never
it's
something you want to
profound,
hear.
and then it immediately goes back to being South Park. It's just like Kanye West sometimes it's profound and then immediately goes back to being Kanye West. So you're like, oh, what the? Never mind. That's it. Family Guy is hit and miss. I can definitely find it funny. So I guess I can fuck Family Guy. I'm not going to marry Family Guy.
Family Guy.
I'd marry Futurama. I'm not marrying Family Guy.
Futurama.
I think there were multiple marry, fuck, kills
Okay.
from oh my God.
Exalted Lord Michael Purdue.
No.
Are we looking for a name?
Yes.
Backlog Banisher Dane.
The British guy.
Ross.
Ross, thank you.
Milk
Jesus,
Ross?
I'm
Special
so
Green.
sorry,
Milk
Ross.
Ross.
I think Ross.
There's no
was-
way he's listening.
I think Ross was throwing us marry, fuck, kills after his
After
quizzes.
the quizzes, yeah.
Sorry, Ross. I'm old.
Family Guy. There's an episode where I don't know what the hell happened to Brian the dog, but he cut off his ear.
But he got
I
hot.
think he was like high, and he went into this very crazy universe that was creepy and maybe even nihilistic, and I don't like that. So, yeah. But I mean, it does have a funny moment, so we don't have to kill Family Guy. The other two, that's how it feels. Simpsons, for throwing that in there. Simpsons. I wasn't allowed to watch growing up. I've seen a few episodes of it more recently, and I'm all like, this show's kind of funny. But, yeah. So, I don't know. Okay, bye.
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 All right. We still have a lot of calls from Michelle. Do you want me to skip over some of hers? Or should we just keep going? Just power through.
Let's power
do it.
through.
Let's
She
do
always has interesting things to say.
Let's do it.
Tyler, I think this next call may be directed at you.
Okay.
You know, Tyler, I just have to say that while officially I am an embalmer, I tell most people I am a mortician because they don't know what the hell an embalmer is. And some people, you have to tell them that you're an undertaker. And I am not satanic. Not that I have a problem with people that are satanic. That worshiper's different. But even then, I'd be like, fine, as long as you don't curse me or kill me or whatever. I don't believe in satanic side of coming so dumb. But, so your dad, I mean, he's never met me, so he probably doesn't hate me. But what I'm saying is, your dad probably hates me. Because I'm an undertaker.
He could.
And,
Yeah.
you know, a liberal. All right. Bye.
I do want to see you cosplay as the Undertaker and Abby as Paul Bearer, walking with you holding the urn.
That would be amazing.
Next.
I would be disappointed if you don't do this. Okay, here we go. Michelle call number, I've lost count.
Charlie Sheen is a complete asshole and diva on every set he's ever been on. He's always on drugs. He's a womanizer. He has HIV and has had it for a while and never told any of his partners that he had HIV.
Well, then he wouldn't have sex with
I'm
them.
not sure why.
Who are we talking about?
Over that.
Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen. He has HIV?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
That should be considered.
Oh, I gotta go.
Especially when he has
I got to see how thing.
I'll go with you.
found out, came up HIV positive. So all around, just kill Charlie Sheen. I hear he's better now, but whatever. You made your bed. Now lie and kill Charlie Sheen. The rest I just don't know. Kill them all. Just kill Steven Seagal and kill
Let
Jack
God
Gates,
sort them out.
because I don't want to marry her someday. Goodbye.
Michelle and Viet Cong.
To be clear, I did not know any of that about Guy Fieri. That's awesome. Still don't want to marry fuck him. So that's all I can do is kill him. So maybe we could be platonic roommates, like asexual cohabitating couples. The ones that also are aromantic. Yeah, asexual aromantic cohabitating couple. That I can do with Guy Fieri. Lovely human being, apparently. I did like the show, Diners, Drive-In, and Dives. I don't have a problem with that. And I did see him once at, what is it, the Soda Fountain, which you don't know what that is, but it's in L.A., and it's next to the El Capitan Theater.
We might know.
Both museums. Yeah, I don't know if he was checking it out for a show or if he was just checking it out because he could, but yeah, I saw him once there. I didn't talk to him because he's a celebrity and I just joke when there's celebrities around. Except for Tinkerbell, the original Tinkerbell model, but like she's this cute tiny little old lady now. Anyway, but yeah, so asexual, aromantic cohabitation with Guy Fieri, kill over it.
I'd cohabitate with Guy Fieri.
I was very pro Guy Fieri until I saw he's very pro Trump. So.
Oh, never mind. I couldn't cohabitate.
man.
Yeah, broke my heart.
Ruined a perfectly good thing. And I bet, knowing this information now, Terrified Michelle will no longer be willing to have a sexual cohabitation.
Asexual.
Asexual cohabitation.
There's no way he's going to pull the asexual card based on this information that I've just been given.
Yep.
That's a man right there who likes to fuck pussies. Sorry, Tara.
You got it.
It had to be said, Tara.
All right, here we go. April 27th. This call is 9 seconds long, so brace yourselves.
Okay.
Bracing.
Now.
Tyler, if you do a Southern Baptist trauma podcast, then I have to be a virtual host.
Yeah, we could do that.
Ta-da!
Southern Baptist Trauma Podcast featuring with Tyler and Terrified Michelle. You think she'd go by Terrified Michelle if she were a host?
She has to.
It's a
the contract.
rule
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I wonder if she ever introduces herself to anyone as Terrified Michelle.
God, I hope so.
Makes
hope
sense for an
that's-
embalmer. The embalmer Terrified Michelle.
I thought she's an undertaker.
We gave you guys nicknames for a reason. Use them. All right, here we go.
I'm glad you guys made the smart decision and you yourselves did not go to the expo. It was kind of funny when you first said, we as TADPOG hosts are not going to go to TADPOG prom. And then I was like, then is it no longer TADPOG prom?
It will always be
Because I feel
TADPOG
it's no
prom,
longer TADPOG prom.
even if we're not
But,
there.
I mean, if other people still wanted to go and meet up, that's awesome. Then it's more like TEDPOG reunion, I feel.
No.
I could be wrong. I, on the other hand, am going to Walt Disney World. Never been in my life. So I'm going to Florida, a state that sucks on many levels, especially when it comes to COVID, but also
Even worse
anything
since
related
you've
to
called
gay
in.
people,
It has
trans
gotten
people,
much, much
whatever.
worse.
What has?
Florida.
Florida.
Florida. Oh, yeah.
I thought you said Florida.
He's gotten better.
Anyway, but we're going to Walt Disney World and Universal, and we're just going to not talk about that other stuff and just pretend like it's not there. And we're going to wear masks, even though you don't have to on planes anymore, which was a bad idea. And even though you don't have to in Florida, still going to wear masks. I mean, if we're out in the open, we might not, but if it's crowded or we're in a line, definitely will be. Because we're smarter than the average Floridian? I'm guessing, yes. I watched The Good Place, and all Floridians go to hell, so I know that's not true, but I thought it was hilarious. I gotta Maggots don't have a smell. just the thing that they're on that's decomposing has a smell. And maggots are clean because they're just eating the dead things, but they are also disgusting.
I was about to say, I'm glad you threw that last
I was
line
going to say,
because this is like some straight up
Don't
like Fight Club. You
be-
can drink your piss.
arguing.
Like, that's that fucking beginning of that reminded me.
You're
of.
it's sterile.
It's
you know?
sterile.
Yeah, don't be trying to convince me that maggots are anything other than disgusting.
Bear Grylls takes the piss.
Sometimes he didn't though. It's just sometimes it was just. a
I
show.
won't explain all I know about maggots because it will ruin any food that you are eating.
Except cheese.
Okay, bye.
It'll make cheese better.
We should try that with all the foods.
Okay.
Maggot research, maggot food research center.
First day.
Here at the TADPOG Test Kitchen, we add maggots to everything.
Are you afraid it's gonna bite you or something? I don't understand. Second, fuck, marry, kill. Yes, I will answer this question that you didn't ask me. Cheddar, I will marry because cheddar is life. And then I will fuck Brie because Brie with baked apples is amazing.
Yeah.
And then
Amen.
feta is like whatever. Okay,
Yeah.
bye.
What is whatever?
I can ride with feta.
Feta.
I can ride with that.
I like feta. I like feta on pizza.
First day. Who doesn't like horses? What is not to like about a horse afraid? It is going to bite you or something. I don't understand. S fuck, marry, kill a yes. I will answer this question that you didn't ask me, Cheddar. I will marry because it's life, and then I will probably because Brie was baked apples and Federal is like whatever.
It's like a Tim Burton line. What is not to like about a horse afraid?
Was she talking about horses?
At first, when y'all were talking over it,
Oh yeah, I don't like horses.
Oh,
I'm
the
afraid they're
horse
gonna bite
was like
me.
the horse chips
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
They're too big.
well, then you answered her question again.
Yeah.
Because she starts off with first, who doesn't like horses?
Me.
The answer's Dave.
I mean, I like the idea of horses. I just don't want to be around a horse. Is that? I mean, what's that mean? That's not like I don't want horses to not exist.
Well,
I think
she says it's not like they're going to bite you or something.
sometimes they bite people.
Yeah, they bite people.
Sometimes they kick people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Christopher Reeves. Come on.
Yeah, they're
Come on.
too. Look, if you're into horses, it's fine. I just want to.
Twilight, horses,
It's fine.
Harry Potter, whatever you're into.
I'm not even saying that you're into horses. I'm just like anybody into horses. It's fine. I just don't want to be around them. They're too. I don't trust them. They're a wild animal that's way larger than me. It's like I don't want to live with a lion. I don't want to live
Their
with a
dumps are crazy.
Their dumps are fucking crazy. It's the only reason to live with one.
Or go to Tater Day.
Next up, 51 seconds of Terrified Michelle.
Okay, did somebody get upset at you guys?
Yes, always.
I'm listening to Ian talk about his retro mini whatever thingy bum from Big Stick Piebaker, and first the intro, you repeated the intro about we got Jameson jokes, and then you're describing the retro pie, and you're doing it all sexy like you do, and then you're like, this joke guys don't take any of this seriously. What the hell happened? I am not on Discord, and I am not on Facebook. Why do you have to keep saying this?
Taste the
Taste the
piss.
piss, Michelle.
Yep. God damn it.
Taste it.
Hell? Okay, bye.
TasteThePiss.com.
I heard her talking about my retro pie, and I lost that one big time. And by the way, I've gone through like 2 of those and a Switch and another Switch, and I finally landed on the Steam Deck.
We'll see how long that lasts.
This one's going
gonna
the
take-
distance. This one's going the distance. I have found the one, and I don't know what else. She talked about not being on Discord.
TasteThePiss.com.
Yeah, she's got to get
Fix
on
it.
Oh, so she missed out on something because of the Discord.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Hell, most things. So, yeah, get on that
we've
Discord.
made it even easier to get on our Discord by going to taste.
All you have to do is taste the piss.
just
That's
taste
it, baby.
it.
That's it, baby.
and then
That's
go
it, baby. Just taste that piss.
Just taste the piss.
and then go to tastethepiss.com. More Michelle.
We're fun.
We are fun. We're really funny too.
And if you like
goes
tasting,
without
if
saying.
you like, if you like tasting the piss,
Smart enough.
become an
Gosh
official
darn
piss
it.
taster.
People like us.
Except for when they don't.
Okay, guys, so I didn't grow up playing
Which is never.
video games. We weren't allowed to have them. My mom
What?
and dad decided that it was, too hard to get us to focus on something else with TV, so they weren't going to do video games on top of that. So I only played them at my cousin's house or a friend's house, which is rare. So most of my experience with video games is as an adult. And I could be a rage monster with those video games. So Colin is so much more mature than I am because I just cannot. No, I'm yelling at those games all the time. Cruising at them, whatever. Cohen's amazing. All right, bye.
I think I had talked about Cohen being not the kind of kid who gets pissed off at video games or something. I seem to remember bringing that up. So I'll be sure and pass that message along that you think Cohen is amazing. He'll love to hear that. He doesn't know who you are, but he'll still love to hear it because he likes to hear good things about himself, as we all do.
I know an Undertaker that thinks you're
She's an embalmer.
What's that? Well,
I thought she was a mortician. All right, here we go. More Michelle.
Okay.
More.
Guys, I don't want you to change anything. I'm just going to tell
However.
you that I have anxiety that comes natural. And while I am an embalmer and none of that bothers me because they're already dead, when you're sitting there talking about all the football injuries and that fragile injury and how fragile we are, I'm all like, do you not understand that I grew up watching Rescue 911, America's Most Wanted, and Unsolved
Good
Mysteries,
shit.
and all of my anxiety probably started there because, 90s and we didn't know anything about it. So I'm just sitting there listening to me and I'm like, oh, just stop it. Oh, no. But don't, because if you guys are fine and you don't have to do anything like that, you never have to change your mind. I'm just like,
I thought you said you were desensitized.
Wait.
No, Dave is desensitized.
Oh.
I am not desensitized when you're talking about it. However, when there's a dead person on my table and they're all fucked up, I'm all like, let's see if I can put them back together.
Like Mr. Potato Head.
No, it's more like a puzzle with 1,000 pieces.
One of my
All right, I'm sure I'll come up with something else later. Bye.
One of my favorite things is imagining that terrified Michelle is in the car or whatever on her way to her mortician, embalmer, undertaker job. And I always assume that she's by herself. And then Abby pops in.
Right.
And I love it.
Yeah.
I love it because I now I picture Abby sitting there listening intently to Michelle leaving the message for us.
Abby is like Thor's axe in Love and Thunder.
Yes.
As Thor, she's going off on a rant, then you just slowly into frame.
It's good to
I love it.
remember how frail and fragile we are, though.
Yes, it
that's
is.
I think that's a good thing. I don't think that's a bad thing because you gotta
It's the lesson from the pandemic.
how precious things are.
I saw a video the other day that, in a nutshell, said that if our galaxy was the size of North America, our sun would fit between the ridges on your fingerprint. And that Earth, the sun is about 10 million times bigger than Earth. And that is how tiny we actually are in the grand scheme of things. And I think that puts a very fine point on how fragile we are and how we have to be very aware of what we're doing and how we're acting.
Yeah, there are two sides to that.
But God doesn't want you to put on girls' clothes, though. God damn it.
No, yeah.
Yeah, there's two sides of that. That's like one side is like feeling very small and insignificant, but like That's also a good thing.
In the same
Because it's like, fuck it.
Doesn't matter.
Fuck, it doesn't.
Yeah.
If it doesn't matter.
in the
then-
same vein, an electron, part of the building blocks of matter as we know it, we are the size of a galaxy to an electron. So we're not that small, right?
Okay.
It's relative.
Yeah.
In other words, but fragile, definitely.
Yes.
And you're not wrong. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
To be reminded of that. It puts things into perspective.
Yeah.
Keeps us in check.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of YouTube videos. Or maybe people forget. All right. Here we go. April 29th, 2022 at 10:54 a.m.
It's a good time.
I'm gonna get shit for this, but since I'm not on the social media, I don't care. Football is bad.
And you should feel bad.
No.
She is.
What I'm saying is that a lot of retired NFL players won't let their children or grandchildren play football because the injuries are terrible, especially the head injuries.
Yeah.
And too many
Yep.
of them
It's a
get
thing.
that one head injury that I will not remember the acronym for because I think, I don't know what, I think it's like CTE or something where you either go and become a rage monster and kill your whole family or you kill yourself. Anyway, so I'm not saying we should get rid of football altogether, but I think that football should become touch football. And I know people are like, well, what about...
Only butt touch it.
That's all
About time somebody fucking said it.
Then it would be like that lingerie football. Anyway, but people always...
Did she say lingerie football?
I think it's the Victoria's Secret.
right.
Super
right,
Bowl.
Right.
When I say that, they're like, well, what about rugby? And I'm like, same thing. Rugby needs to do something different. I don't really know how rugby's played, but it needs to be do something
Yeah, but
different.
there's no blocking
Same
in
with
rugby, so
hockey.
there's a lot less
Hockey's
injury,
probably the worst
even with
because
no padding.
They allow fighting. They're like, yeah, just, fight each other. It's totally fine. What the fuck?
They got to keep the shoulder pads, though, because those just, remind me of my grandma's shoulder pads.
It reminds me of all the girls' sweaters in high school for me.
Designing
The shoulder
women, all their
pads.
dresses.
Oh, designing women. I was walking Clementine last week, and we walked by a house. Windows were open. Huge TV. Designing women.
Nice. I love that.
I've never seen designing women on a TV that size.
That
Delta
is
Burke was
awesome.
magnificent.
Hey, man. Big
is-
Delta Burke. Big
she
Delta
is
Burke.
magnificent.
Yeah.
She has always been and will always be magnificent.
Yeah.
That's been It's just cute.
You can keep all the protective material, but you still need to make the game safer. And I know people are like, but one man to jump on top of and lie on top of the other grown man.
Nope. It's still
Because
playing.
it's awesome.
It's mud. Yeah.
And it's not sexual at all, and I'm not gay. Super masculine. But you can figure it out.
Just a super masculine hard-on. Super, very, very straight hard-on right
Of
now.
course, baby. I mean, what do you think pro jobs are? Two heterosexual dudes getting each other off, all right?
I mean,
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's for a goof.
Right?
Yeah. All right. All right.
I think for a
Bye.
minute they may have forgotten they were on a call.
On a call. Sometimes I forget I'm on a podcast. So
Why
I'll
don't you
always
suck my straight dick? Is that phone still on?
Football is awesome. I love football. I do agree that it's very dangerous, and I do acknowledge that a lot of people get very, very badly hurt or even killed in the sport. And they've come a long way in making helmet technology. They have different helmets for different positions on the team based on what they're going to be doing that are designed to take impact differently. But I get what you're saying, but football is here to stay. It will be here forever. So what we have to do, they're never going to change it to be touch football, and they're never going to take away the tackling and that's the main reason people watch it. And I think that it's going to get safer. I think they're going to make more rules, regulations, things to prevent, hopefully, rules that will help prevent injury, assuming that people are abiding by the rules.
Or we go Running Man with it, only prisoners play it.
Or we could do that.
And then it becomes less safe.
But I do understand.
Well, we don't have enough prisoners. Where are we going to get players?
That's true.
Gosh, we wouldn't have hardly anything to choose from. Anyway, thank you for that call. And I love the end where you guys forgot you were on the phone with us.
One more?
One more? Okay. We can do
more.
one more. I don't know why I clicked away from it. Let me click on that and then hit play.
Okay, guys, what you are describing as a water weenie, at least in California, is not a water weenie. I forget what that is called.
What
Then how
is
do
a
you
water
know?
weenie?
It's the thing that shoots water all around.
I was thinking
The
it was
little pool toy?
the thing that looks
Hoses.
like a sleeve. A water weenie.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking it was the pool toy thing that has all the arms that shoots water around. That's what I've always referred to as
That's
a
a
water,
water
weenie.
weenie?
But maybe you're right. Maybe that is a water weenie.
It's all water weenies. It's like they're everything's
But it is
sriracha.
not water weenie. For us, a water weenie is this long cylinder that you fill with water and it has a nozzle on the top, and you can get it at water parks, and so they have to leave spaces for it.
Yeah, it's like it gets hard when it is engorged.
Nice.
Yeah, it does do that.
Like a weenie.
Yeah,
Nice.
get it, and then you can spray people with it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's very...
I've already got one of those. Why would I buy
Could use another.
Yeah, good point.
inappropriate if you think about it, but it is not what you were describing. You were describing that. Remember that your sister had one, the cylinder that you have that's plastic and it's like it's like a donut, a long cylinder donut.
Oh, you're-
that's filled with goo in the middle.
You're right, Tyler.
Stars and whatever.
Oh, yeah, one of those little things that inverts itself constantly, like
Yes, and
Yeah.
it's hard to
You're
hold
right.
on to.
That's
the
what she
thing
meant.
that you use as an analogy for the intestinal nature of human bodies.
Yeah, but I don't remember what those are called.
Pocket
But they were
prolapse?
not called water beanies, at least not in California.
Yeah.
Who
So
called
I don't know
it?
what y'all are
Who
doing to
here
my people, whatever.
Yeah.
called it a water
Y'all need
weenie?
Jesus.
Okay, bye.
I don't
know.
remember it being referred to as a water weenie because, like I said, the only time I've ever heard that term was in the thing I described. It would help if I had a better memory, or if we took these calls sooner after we aired the show.
We're working on it.
I'll take you
We're
to the
getting there.
Discord. What's a water weenie?
Yeah.
Tonight we got through 16 calls,
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
so we
Halfway
are
through the blockade.
Nope. We're well more than half.
Well, more than
1, 2,
half.
3, 4 more calls from Michelle, and then another call from someone else, and then more calls from Michelle. Actually, maybe I just didn't realize there were other calls interspersed in there when I did the original count because there's still a shitload of calls from Michelle. That's okay. I'm glad you call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love it when you call.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
270-883-2555.
Get you right to us.
Yeah. I'll
Call.
Say something super topical to the time in which you call so that we can reminisce
Be
about
transported
that
back.
a year from now and be like, oh my God, you guys, remember that?
Remember when we apparently talked about water weenies?
Half the fun of it for me is remembering what the fuck they're talking about. What
You're
we
good at
talked
it.
about that they are talking about.
You're good at it.
I'm using context clues. I don't have any idea if I'm right most of the time, but
I mean, you're.
whatever.
I buy
Thank
it.
you. I'd buy that for $1. And speaking of buying things for $1,
Yeah.
if you'd like to
Own a part of TADPOG.
own a part of TADPOG, become an investor today.
We need corporate sponsorship.
TADPOG, patreon.com/TADPOG. You can give us $1, tiny little dollar every single month. That gets you access to our bonus content. And as we mentioned last week, we're working on the possibility of setting up some tiers, trying to come up with some incentives
Yes.
for you guys to have some fun things that you could potentially donate to get. And as soon as we have that finalized, we will mention that.
Yep. I'm excited for
Bring
that stuff.
everybody in. I am too.
But most importantly, there's that Patreon.
Patreon.com/TADPOG, as was previously mentioned, or pisstasters.com.
Piss Tasters. Yep. We fucked it
I'm
up.
so
We fucked it up
confused.
by doing Taste the Piss.
Well, you taste the piss first in the Discord.
Right.
You like it, then you become a piss taster.
Yep.
Perfect.
On Patreon. So
That
you
is
got to
true.
taste the piss before you're a piss taster.
That
I
is
have
true.
it literally. I have it literally typed out in front of me in my notes.
We fucked
that
up.
I read every single fucking week. I have been saying pisstasters.com for months.
Yeah.
And now that we have tastethepiss.com, I'm questioning it.
Right.
I'm looking right at it.
Yeah. No, I get it.
If this were written on paper, it would be faded. It's how long it's been out
I get.
there.
We've made a horrible mistake.
It's fine. We have a list of executive producers, and these are the fine folks that donate $20 or more per month to the cause. It's because they fucking wanna. If you want to do that, you can. And if you do, I will read your name alongside these fabulous people's names, beginning with
Tupac Shakur.
Tupac Shakur, who is a longtime executive producer.
Force Ghost.
As well as Usurper Grimm, Cousin David Galino, Plinko Nick Price, Cubicle Monkey, Cthusiast Jeff Miners, Master Cycle Beer and Kevin Link, Joseph Phillips, Gamebug Prime, Nathan Eaton, Matt Gentile, a.k.a. Gentle G, Louisville correspondent, Princess Consuelo, Banana Hammock, Flavor Trick, Karen Dahl. Congratulations on your marriage, and thanks for all the fine Louisville-based information we get from you on the Discord every week. Pinball Airplane, Archmaze, Chris Edler, we're sorry you couldn't be on this episode. Platinum member Brett Miller, Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins, Nate from Utah, first-time caller, Drinksmith Joey Webster, Dig Dougie, Derek Pope Sandwich, and Cody Phillips. And I'd like to offer up a little bit of additional thanks. We have a brand new donor this week, Treff Dietrich has become a new donor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Treff. And I would also like to thank Dig Dougie,
Big Dougie. Big ups.
who has increased their Patreon, already an executive producer and just going above and beyond, added a little bit to that. And I would also like to thank Backlog Banisher Dane, Mr. Puzzles himself, who freely gives his time to put our episodes on YouTube every week. He's probably wondering what the fuck is going on right now with ours for tomorrow. And also a fun fact provided to us by our bespectacled host. We
me.
are currently rank 84 in video game podcasts in Bulgaria.
Yep. Thank you, Bulgaria.
Thanks, Bulgaria.
We've dropped off all the other countries, but we're on the rise in Bulgaria.
We knew
And I'm
you
here
would come
for it.
through for us. We knew it. We've said it before.
Yeah.
If anyone's going to pull us out of this slump, it's going to be Bulgaria. And you are doing it.
You were doing it. So thank you. If you could also tell some more of your friends, that would be really swell.
Spread the word. We would love nothing more than to be the biggest, most popular video game podcast in Bulgaria. I would
It would be
literally.
rad. Yeah, it would be
I would
rad.
be so
It really would.
happy. I would
Yeah.
tell everyone.
Yeah, me too.
I would tell everyone
Yeah.
that.
New shirt.
Yeah,
I would-
yeah.
We're
Oh my
bigger in
God.
I'm
Bulgaria.
done with that.
Biggest in Bulgaria.
No. Only if it's like if the Bulgarian government makes the shirt. Then yes, and it ships from Bulgaria, and it's super expensive. That's the only way.
Yeah. But really, seriously, that's cool. So thanks, Bulgaria.
Yes, thanks, Bulgaria.
If you come to our Discord at tastethepiss.com and introduce yourselves. If you're in Bulgaria and you have contributed to helping make us
Yeah.
rise up the chart, which for real is a thing.
Yeah, this is not a bit.
I'm not making this
This is
up.
not a bit.
This is really happening. On Apple Podcasts, we are number 84 in video game podcasts in Bulgaria. We'd love to meet you. Any of you come. If
We're not going there,
You're
though.
gonna,
I'm poor.
yeah, so come to the Discord at tastethepiss.com and we'd love to meet you. Hopefully you speak English because we definitely do not speak your language. I'm sorry. But anyway, I thought that was neat.
Yep.
Thank you for that, everyone in Bulgaria. And thanks to everyone who donates, everyone who
Yes.
listens. Spread the word. Tastethepiss.com. You can come in there and hang out with us on our Discord. We would love to have you come and introduce yourselves and tell us about yourself. We want to hear. We want to hear what you have to say. because we feel
Yes.
like you want to hear what we have to say. This is your opportunity for us to hear what you have to say. So
Yeah, and you just talked with other people who listen to the show too.
absolutely.
There's a lot of people there, a lot of cool people there.
You already have at least one thing in common.
Yeah,
So
you probably have more.
come check it out. We love it. And it's free. Come to the
Yeah.
Discord.
Did we give a shout out to Keith?
No.
Yeah, Keith also upped his
Oh, that's
Patreon
right.
donation.
You're right. I must have skipped over it. I apologize.
That old dirtbag?
Dirtbag.
Yeah.
Dirtbag
yeah.
Keith. So thank you very much. Hell yeah.
All right. I think that about covers it. Next time on TADPOG, Dave the Diver, right?
Yep.
Dave the Diver. That's me.
Dave the Diver.
Dave's very own video game. Who knew you were such a fan of scuba and fish hunting and
Come on.
sushi?
It's not obvious.
The scuba diving, fish hunting, sushi restaurant managing
Simulator.
I
simulator.
mean, fried fish is okay. So,
a little
Sometimes a little bit.
so our theme song is Moves by Sycamore Drive. To that track, find the show at tadpog.com. How you guys want to close it out? Like your favorite Marvel hero?
Sure.
Sure.
Who did I put as my favorite? Got it.
Captain America.
Yeah.
So until next time, tropical Capricorn sugar.
Sugar.
Tadpog all covered in molasses.
I understood that reference.
Yeah. Spider-Man.
What would be a good stinger?
Phone's on 1%.
That's not good. Are you recording?
Yes.
Okay, that's good to know.
Did you second guess yourself?
No.
I love how you looked at me like, that's impossible. Why would you say something like that?
Never.
Bucket, I like that as a stinger.
Yeah, that'll work.